Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this week's reading, I'm using the Osho Zen Tarot. And my intention with this reading is to get a sneak peek or an overview at the week ahead. So I've got 3 cards here. Each card is going to represent a portion of the upcoming week, and we'll start with Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so we have 9 of fire, so it would be 9 of wands in a Rider-Waite deck, and this card says exhaustion. So it's funny because I think of the 10 of wands as being about exhaustion, and 9 of wands I think more as being kind of like about pessimism. But anyways, this is the Osho Zen deck, so it's a little bit different. And so here we have this card of exhaustion. I feel like this card has come up because chances are you've been busy lately, you've been spreading yourself too thin, and you've been trying to do too many things at once and trying to be everything to everyone and perhaps trying to please everyone and get everything done. So this is something to look out for, because when we're exhausted, we have a different perspective on life and a different perspective on the world. And I think it can make us feel unenthusiastic, low energy, almost depressed and pessimistic. So if you start your week off and you're feeling uninspired, if you're feeling pessimistic, if you're feeling really negative, ask yourself if you're just tired. Do you just need a break? Do you just need to rest and recharge? Because that will make all the difference in how you see things. So just being aware of tiredness and exhaustion and what role that plays as we enter the week. And then the middle of the week, Wednesday and Thursday, we have the Fool. Ooh. So the Fool is all about trusting in life and being optimistic. So kind of in some ways the opposite of the first card. The first card shows someone who's exhausted, and the second card shows someone who looks very inspired, someone who has energy and pizzazz and is excited about life. So with whatever is going on for you in the beginning of the week tends to shift towards the middle of the week, so you regain your optimism. But the Fool is really encouraging you to start a new journey. And this might be in a big way or in a little way, in a smaller way. This is about starting something new, trying something new, seeing yourself in a new light, going down a different path, starting some new project or something like that. But it's really about reigniting your enthusiasm for life and being able to not just trust in yourself, but trusting in the process of life and trusting that everything will work out the way it needs to, trusting that the people that you need to meet and know are going to appear in your life when you need to meet them, and that everything's going to kind of fall into place for you. The last card for Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the Queen of Air, or Queen of Swords, and she is all about morality. So there's a real feeling of being uptight with this card. Someone who is kind of uptight and maybe a little bit judgmental. This has a negative side and a positive side. So the negative side of being judgmental is that when we judge others, we are looking at the situation through a very narrow lens. We don't really see the big picture. And when you're looking at someone with judgment, you're not looking at them through the eyes of compassion. You're not being compassionate, you're being judgmental. That's kind of the negative side of this card. The positive side of judgment is that you need to exercise good judgment when making decisions, when you're, deciding what kinds of people you're going to invite into your life, what kinds of people you're going to give your time and energy to, and what kinds of things you're going to give your time and energy to. So having judgment and being able to judge something as either being something that is worth your time or something that isn't worth your time at this time, that is a really valuable skill to have. So I feel like I'm rambling here. So basically, to sum this card up, I feel like by the weekend, you want to exercise good judgment. You want to be wise, and you want to tap into your intellect and really use your brain to make decisions, make judgments. But at the same time, be aware also that keep in mind that it's also important to look at things with the eyes of your heart and to be compassionate as well. So trying to find that balance between the intellect and the heart. Okay. Another thing I want to say about this Queen of Air is that I feel like you may be called upon this weekend to communicate with someone in your life about something important. So, sitting down, having a heart-to-heart talk, and expressing your needs or communicating something that's really important to you. Perhaps you're negotiating something or discussing something, and I think that it's important to be compassionate, to be heart-centered, but ultimately to use your intellect, use your wisdom, and communicate clearly. Above all else, you want to be clear and concise in your communications. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out here. I'm going to look at these cards together. One thing I find interesting about this exhaustion card is that it looks like a robot, and this guy is like inside the robot, controlling it or something. And it makes me think of our relationship to technology and how the more that we engage with technology, the more that others expect us to almost behave like robots. And I feel this way with email. Like, ever since people started carrying their phones around with them all the time and now have the ability to respond to texts and emails like instantaneously, I feel like people expect you to get back to them instantly. And that can feel so exhausting to just be on all the time, to have that expectation of yourself. So that's another question to ask yourself this week. Are your expectations of yourself too high? Like, are you thinking of yourself as are you expecting yourself to be as productive as a machine? And sometimes exhaustion can come from over-engaging with technology. So maybe you need a little bit of a technology break for a weekend. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that's jumping out at me. And of course, every week I love to invite you, the viewer, to share your own insights on these cards. So if there's something that jumps out at you that you want to mention, feel free to mention it in the comments below. All in all, it looks like a really great week, and I'm really attracted to this Fool card and the possibilities that represents. So I want to say thank you for watching. I still have a whole minute. Sorry, I'm looking at my camera. I'm like, I only have like 10 seconds to wrap this reading up. Okay, I have a whole nother minute. So, yeah, it looks like a good week. I think that there's going to be some self-care needed in the beginning of the week, especially if we want to come to this wonderful card in the middle of the week, feeling re-inspired about life. It's almost like this Fool on the card has a love affair with life, and I love that. And yeah, that's just all I wanted to add. And then by the end of the week, it's about getting in touch with your intellectual side and your ability to communicate clearly. So I hope you found this reading helpful. My name is Kate, and you can find out more about tarot on my website, dailytarotgirl.com. Have a beautiful week.